What it do, y'all? It's your guy Bendu, and I'm coming at y'all with another video today. And right up front in this video, I do want to apologize for being gone for the week. I know I posted on, I think the last day I posted was on Monday, the 10th. But unfortunately, I was not able to get to my equipment because of, family members of mine had COVID, so they used my like my kind of loft, I guess, or and because I live in my basement, so they used my basement to quarantine down here because it's separate from everybody else, and I used a whole logistical thing. But I'm back, doing a video for you guys this week. I'm going to try and do at least one video on, the normal Topsy days, which is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But yeah, so a lot of that, so just another warning, heads up as well. A lot of the topics I'll be talking about this week are going to be from last week, so they're kind of older now at this point, but bear with me. I'll try, if I have the time, I'll try to sprinkle in some of the newer things that's going on, especially with the January 6th stuff. I've been like kind of paying attention to that because I find it interesting, what's going on with that. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and get into this story. So today I wanted to talk about this AOC situation. So as a lot of y'all know, I did the story about her, the hypocrisy of her. I think, is that what I did? No, yeah. So I did the AOC story about when she went down to Florida and she got criticized for that. But and then her reaction to the criticism was that people are like, anybody who criticizes me just wants to date me, or AKA fuck me. That's how I perceived it. You just can't, it would have been even weirder if she said fuck me. So but yeah, so the clown show continues, though, as that video was titled. I might say the clown show part 2 or something. I don't know. But now when I originally read this article or saw the title for this article, I thought it coincided with her going down to Florida, but I don't think that it did. I'm not, from what it looks like, that's not what happened. But it's very interesting that the story drops around that same time. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, Amazon workers were heartbroken after AOC bails on promise to march with them. So, this is from January 8th, 2022. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is ghosting her comrades on the front lines of a labor battle against Amazon. The socialist lawmaker promised organizers she would stand by them at a rally outside a Staten Island warehouse trying to unionize, but dropped out at the last minute. And protest leaders revealed to the Post this week that they were so crestfallen they didn't even bother inviting her to a follow-up rally in December. I figured she would follow her word. It was heartbreaking. Protest organizer Christian Smalls told the Post. I felt bad for the workers that were excited to see her. It was like a slap in the face, he added. About 50 people showed up for the unionization rally outside the JFK 8 Amazon fulfillment center in Bloomingfield on August 11th. Now that's interesting because y'all know that way back when, one of the when I did a couple videos about the People's Party. It was like the People's Party convention, I think, because it was coinciding with like the RNC and the DNC and everything, which were absolute fucking clown shows. Like, it's crazy that. So say what you want about the People's Party. I'm sure, people who watch my channel have critiques of the People's Party. I have my critiques about the People's Party as well. But their convention seemed like less of a clown show than like the two major parties. Like, you had the Democratic Party bringing out like basically fucking Republicans. That's literally like they gave speaking of AOC, she only had like a 30-second spot or something at the DNC. Hilarious. Then the Republican Party the RNC was just fucking nuts. It looked like Trump was doing his normal buffoonery. It looked like fucking Trump Jr. or Don Jr., whatever the fuck his name is. Or Eric, or was it Eric Trump? I don't know. Whichever one. Whichever one of his sons was dating like a Fox News anchor or something like that, and like it like looked like they both did coke backstage. Like Eric Trump was like, yo, he had that Bobby Brown jaw. And his girl was like just like going off on stage like nuts. So it was like, I found it hilarious. The only sane one at the RNC seemed like Rand Paul. Like Rand Paul's speech was like sane. So, but regardless, it was very. I just find it funny that the People's Party, this party that people honestly make fun of, especially like the Sam Cedar crowd and all, all those people, the TYT crowd, they make fun of them and shit like that. Like they actually like are pushing, for legit things that they claim to want the Democratic Party to push for. So, but regardless, one of the first videos I did was about Chris Smalls, and Chris Smalls was the Amazon worker that got fired for organizing again at the time, organizing it against the crazy COVID measures or the lack thereof, when it comes to COVID measures at Amazon. And just overall, the horrible treatment that they get, the Amazon workers get. Former Amazon worker, I can tell you, it's garbage. They treat you like trash. So yeah. And so I just find it interesting that he's talking about this because, he's somebody that is actually out there doing shit. You feel me? And he was somebody I was excited to here at the People's Party convention. So I actually need to get caught up on what he's been doing lately because I haven't been following his what he's been doing lately. So I'm probably not gonna get into see what he's been doing. Possibly have him on the show. Possibly. Activists from the Independent Amazon Labor Union said they didn't even bother inviting the congresswoman who infamously defeated Amazon's proposal in 2019 to open up a 25,000 job world headquarters in Queens to a December 15th rally outside the same facility. The congresswoman spent the holiday season in sunny Florida with Sandals' loving boyfriend, Riley Roberts. Okay. Yeah, which is also like, that like the right's going to fixate on that story, but on a lot of points they're correct. Like you advocate for these, authoritarian, COVID policies in your state, and you go to, because you're able to go to another state, to enjoy the freedoms there and vacation there, like, because you can't do that in your state. And honestly, it's cold as shit right now up in the Northeast. It's cold as shit, so that probably played a factor in it as well. But still, regardless, and then you go to these packed bars with no mask, and then she got COVID afterwards. It's just fucking hilarious. She caught COVID afterwards, which is fucking hilarious. So, but continuing, after she didn't show up the first time, there was no point in reaching out to her after that. Derek Palmer, a packer at the Amazon warehouse, said, "Yo, pack was so trash. I fucking hated packing. Stand in one spot." Now, I hated picking. Like I liked picking because you get to walk around the warehouse a lot, but I hated picking because of the time. You have, if you don't meet your times, you getting yeeted. Yo, off rip. So I saw motherfuckers on my shift get yeeted because they weren't meeting their times and shit like that. So, this shit was fucking crazy. The two organizers met AOC when they traveled to Washington, D.C. to join Representative Cori Bush in her eviction moratorium protest on the steps of the U.S. Capitol in August. And like, look, I get, trying to get politicians aligned with it, but they're not going to be the solution. People like me keep saying this, and I'm not trying to talk to, or because like I said, Christian Smalls, all these people are actually out here. You feel me? So I'm not trying to criticize them, but this overall mindset that you need you don't need these politicians for your movement. You need the people with you. As long as you got the people with you, it don't fucking matter. Get the people behind you to force them to do what you want regardless, or make moves outside of them. That's what people like me, Convo Couch, Jimmy Dore, Jackson Hinkle, Franco, all everybody who we get smeared as like the dumb left, or whatever names they come up with. This is all we're saying. We're being realistic about it. Like, yo, the government's corrupt as fuck. Like, you're probably not going to get anything through them, and you still have people that's like, why won't the government do this or the government do that, or we need to vote these? Nigga, we've been trying this forever. It doesn't work. So that's why I love Fred Hampton leftists so much, because they speak on direct action a lot. So that's why I fuck with them a lot. I fuck with them heavy. Where was I? Oh yeah, Cori Bush and her eviction moratorium protest on the steps of the U.S. Capitol in August that failed miserably, but she still celebrated, a victory. They still pretended like they got a victory with that, where they failed miserably. So, Smalls said they spent hours talking to Ocasio-Cortez about the Amazon Union, and she lavished praise on the effort. Big announcement. She will be joining us at our first rally in front of JFK 8, Staten Island, Amazon, next week, August 11th, 4 p.m. Pull up, Small said in a tweet after midnight on August 3rd, sharing a selfie with himself in AOC. Over the next few days, I hate when this shit pops up when you scroll. But over the next few days, Smalls and Palmer said they were in contact with Ocasio-Cortez's office, as well as that of Representative Mondaire Jones, Democrat of New York. I don't know that. To discuss logistics. Yet, just hours before their planned arrival, both politicians dropped out. Smalls said AOC's office came to him about vague threats the Congresswoman had received and that she was canceling her upcoming planned appearances. The threat appears to have abated in time for her to attend the Met Gala a month later with billionaire heir Benjamin Bronfman and the wealthy tax avoiding clothier Aurora Jones. That's crazy. So you were able to go to the Met Gala, but you couldn't go to this protest. And also, that I brought up, a point I brought up on Twitter a lot was that there was a protest going on outside of the Met Gala because a cop killed somebody in her fucking district. Another police shooting happened in her fucking district, and instead of being out there, she could have worn the dress. It would have. Do you know how? Look, I probably would have gave her a little bit of praise if she would have worn that dress, or a message that goes along with police brutality or anything like that. And she stood out there with the protesters outside of the Met Gala in the dress. That would have been better than actually going in with this dumbass tax. What? But again, even if she did the idea I just brought up, I kind of would still criticize her because you voted to fund the Capitol Police. You've been screaming defund the police all this time, and you voted to fund the Capitol Police. Huh? Raggy? Okay. Yeah, so she was able to go to the Met Gala, but she couldn't go to this. Unionizing Amazon workers has been a holy grail of activists for years. Last April, the company beat back an effort to unionize an Alabama warehouse. A 2014 unionization effort in Delaware also failed by a wide margin. That's actually in my town that happened in. Smalls, the president of the Amazon labor union, is that's actually the Amazon I worked at. So that happened back in 2014. That was my senior year of high school. So literally I remember being in high school and they were telling us they were literally how the Army and Marines basically they come into schools and shit like that to recruit kids, which I think is fucking looking back, I think that's fucking insane. It's sick, honestly, if you ask me. But they would have Amazon pamphlets in our where our guidance counselors, everything like that was to push us to, go work for Amazon, this, da, 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 da. And we didn't know no better. We're kids. Amazon, it was fairly new in our town, so we didn't hear a lot of stories. I know I heard one story about a woman that I think she either died or she died of natural causes, or she committed suicide in the parking lot. One of the two. I know they're two vastly different things, if she just died or committed suicide, but one of the two, I think she killed herself though in the parking lot. That was the only story I really heard, at that point. But yeah, they were basically recruiting us in high school to go work for Amazon because they just came to our town. So I definitely remember, but I didn't know about the unionization effort. But I definitely remember them trying to recruiting a lot. A lot of my classmates went on to go work for them. Found out it was some bullshit. Left. They stacked their bread up and left and shit like that. So, but yeah. Smalls, the president of the Amazon labor union, is looking to make history with the Staten Island warehouse and led a walkout with Amazon workers from the facility just before Christmas. That might actually be a story I cover. Actually, I'm going to open up another tab to save it and see what's up with it. Reps for both offices declined to comment. So, like I said, this was back in April, so it wasn't necessarily she skipped the protest, because that's how they kind of when you read the headline, because the headline came out just as the whole mask thing was coming out, her being down in Florida and everything. So when you read that headline, you're like, no way, she skipped a union rally to go to Florida and shit. But that's not what happened. But still, regardless, she tried to blame threats for why she couldn't go. But you were able to go to the Met Gala. Okay. You were able to go to the Met Gala though. Okay. So, like, yeah, I found that story interesting, and I like, look, there's going to be a couple stories where I'm going to be talking about AOC because I recognize that you do have to point out the fuckery, but part of the reason why, and I think I've said this before, I stopped talking about her, a lot on the channel and just politicians in general because, like, we already know what it is with them. That's why you don't see me like on some Kyle Kalinske shit too, just constantly shitting on, Republican, lawmakers, even though a couple of those videos are coming up because it's a lot of fuck shit hypocrisy going on with a lot of these Republican politicians when it comes to this January 6th shit. It's a lot of interesting takes that they have about January 6th, but skeptic takes, takes from a point of view of skepticism, which I agree with, but that POV wasn't applied to the BLM riots. It was just they're all criminals and rioters and looters. So there was never any nuance like how they're having with January 6th. So, I'm going to be doing a video about that too. So definitely look out for that. But regardless, I point out fallacies where, I feel is actually like something that's substantive to get the people I'm trying to reach, which is, the progressives that feel alienated by other progressives and obviously the liberals and Democratic Party, they feel alienated by them. And also the, conservatives that I feel you can actually have conversations with, not the fucking crazy Trump nut hugging types, but, I'm trying to have conversations with everybody because, in my daily life, I have conversations with everybody across the political spectrum, people that don't even identify with the political spectrum. They just have fucking views. And that's why I try to explain to people that follow politics and a lot and shit like that. Like, everybody doesn't identify on a fucking political spectrum. Most people just have fucking beliefs regardless of the spectrum. They don't care about that shit. I try to explain that to people so much, but it's like they don't get it. It's like, well, this, like, I get it. I come from the background of following politics too, but you got to recognize that most Americans don't fucking give a shit about politics. So, but with that being said, I might have a couple more videos about AOC, but you're not going to see a flood of AOC videos on here, although she would fucking deserve it. But it's not going to be a flood. You feel me? But yeah, but like I said at the top of the video though, I'm going to be doing a couple videos about some older topics that I missed last week and a couple weeks prior as well too. So look out for those. And as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share. Emphasis on all that. As always, the Patreon is up and live. I've actually been working on one of the written pieces that I said I was working on long ago. I finally got back around to working on writing it. The creative writing juices are back. So I'm going to finish that up and possibly post it on the Patreon. I've been thinking about doing like either a Medium or a Substack, but I don't want to have, like, I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of shit spread out right now. Like, I'm on Odyssey too. Then I got the Patreon stuff on Patreon. So I might just put the written works on Patreon for now and everything like that. But anyway, as I already told y'all, none of the videos on the Patreon are behind the paywall or anything like that. So y'all can go check them out, have a good laugh. They're more fun videos and shit like that. But and let me know if y'all want me to start doing like some of the content you see on the Patreon or on theirs on like just a regular channel as well, or maybe just on Odyssey or whatever. I don't fucking know. I'm just, not necessarily throwing shit at the wall, but I try to keep it strictly focused on politics here. But there's a lot of shit that I want to talk about when it comes to a lot of like political stuff going on and cultural stuff going on, but I just don't think sometimes it fits the scope of, politics, which is mostly what I talk about on the show. So, but let me know if you guys want to see more, funner topics and shit like that. I'll post them and do them because I like talking about fun shit too. And I know you guys are into other things besides politics as well. So let me know. I could try and bleed a little bit of, other fun stuff in here, like pop culture or other cultural things going on. Cause I love talking about the red pill stuff, the gender. I love shitting on women. Let's say that. It's like, nah, I don't love shitting on women, but sometimes y'all bitches deserve it. It's like, nah, I'm joking. But yeah, so yeah, definitely go there, check out the videos there on the Patreon. Like I said, it's not behind the paywall, but it would be greatly appreciated. Guys would leave a donation. It's a great way to support the show, keep us up and running. As well as the QR link to my right, I believe, right or left, whichever side. I don't know. Now it just look like I'm doing the salsa. Cha 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 cha. Oh yeah, yeah. Man. Don't let me get on the dance floor. I'll steal my girlfriend out there on the dance floor. She's like, nah. But yeah, the QR code there is another great way to support the show as well, guys. And as always, just watching the show, commenting, liking, thumbs up, all that, subscribing shows love as well. So that being said, y'all, thanks for tuning in. Peace.